Okay, welcome to episode 6626 of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast, a podcast by the crew for the crew and not nearly as mocked as much as a Facebook group today. I am one of the hosts, Big Joey. I am joined by Big Keith
Howdy, howdy.
and am I saying this right? Garrett?
Yeah, follow.
Okay, just want to make sure because sometimes I don't say things properly and I
Well,
have to make sure.
well, I know that it's Garrett, and I would have got that right, but the last part,
Yeah, how do you say my last name? I want to hear that one.
Clendenning.
Clendening,
Clendenning.
Clendening.
Yep, use your preschool phonics and you'll get it pretty easily.
Wait, who got it right?
I think I said it wrong.
You both pretty much got it right. Joey
Pretty
got
much.
it more right, though.
Hell yeah.
A name is either pronounced correct or incorrect. It's not close enough.
There's the one thing I can do
I
is
failed that
say
test.
names. With my stupid last name, I learned at a very young age to try and pronounce other people's last names and first names. And it's an interesting thing I do at work because it doesn't matter what nationality they are, they're always shocked when I can say their name properly. And I was like, because I went and phonetically learned like 30 languages. I don't know what I'm saying, but if I see it and it looks Russian, Polish, Vietnamese, Mandarin, whatever, I can say it. And it's always shocking to people. It's just one of those stupid things I picked up because I got tired of the I'm looking for Mr. And I was like, just shut up. It's me.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
me.
can see why that's beneficial for sure. Yeah, and
It's
and
me.
that's in your scenario for sure.
Anyway, I'm seeing a nice shirt over there. What are you wearing?
I have the unpaid, underrated shirt on, of course. I felt obliged to wear it.
We appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I think we got a little update from Tanner. I think we're 50% sold out, give or take. I mean, there's definitely only 3 spots left, but actually, I'd have to look at the text. A fair amount have sold, so we're pretty happy about that. There was a couple sizes completely sold out, which is awesome to see. So, if you're a 2X, I think there literally I think there was 2 spots left in a 2X, and then there was like 10 XLs or something, and not a ton of other stuff. So that was very cool to see. So it's nice to see Garrett wearing that. I'm rocking. Since we're big home gym guys, home gym nerds, if you will. Home gym
Me?
this, home
No.
gym that. So I've got a Garage Gym Radio, the podcast platform put out by Garage Gym Experiment. So if you haven't checked that out, go listen to that. There's actually multiple crew that have podcast or guest on the podcast that Jake puts out. So it's good stuff to listen to if you want to deep dive a little home gym a little more.
I've got the squats tee on because I found it today and we're just like, damn, I forgot how much I like that shirt.
That
So I put that one on.
worked.
Nothing too fancy over on this side. What
What
do
you
you
drinking?
go ahead?
What you drinking tonight, Garrett?
I got a 0 sugar Sprite and the Silly Goose koozie because it is 7:30 at night. Otherwise, I would have a Diet Mountain Dew, and I want to sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's way too much caffeine after like 2 p.m. No thanks. Sorry. I got a what is it, the cherry limeade Waterloo. Pretty good. I actually had to go get it like 2 seconds ago. So I was like, "Oh, time to record. I better go get my better go get my beverage."
I've got me a nice good ice water,
There
which
you go.
Morgan first poured into one of my drinking horns.
Do you have that in like a 40-ounce stein? It's like the
Yep.
biggest mug I've ever seen.
Yeah, it says Doom Crew. It's Black Label Society Doom Crew. But like I said, at first you poured it into my drinking horn, and I went, I
That's
wouldn't
not
do that
gonna
if I were you.
right?
Oh, she broke it. It popped the glue on the bottom of the drinking horn. So that horn is now gone forever. And I've got some Keiths and I got some Zero Guinness. I'm prepared for the next 2 hours, 3 hours, however long we go.
So we had a lot to talk about, so we'll dive into a few different random things, and we'll rate last week's episode. So, did you guys see the reel they put out today? That was actually like a premeditated skit that they probably spent like an hour to record, and it was, got it down to like a 90 second or whatever, under 2 minute reel there with just the tip skit, as I call it.
I did enjoy that very much, yes.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
That might be one of their first things. You think it's one of like the first scripted things I think they've done that was a little more long. I mean,
their drink spotter ad they did
yeah,
last
that's
year.
true.
Besides
That's
that
true.
one, I
But
guess.
but I guess I'm not going to put an ad in the same category as like this was a bit for the sheer content aspect of it. Like there's no monetary value other than just getting new followers from it. There's not like, hey, this is something we can put on the website and this is something we can put on YouTube to like get people to buy the drink spotter. This was just like, hey, this will be funny. Let's do it, and it was pretty funny. I don't. I think it was funnier to us because we know the whole Tommy hates fucking tipping for non-service things basically, which I think we most of us do, but he has voiced his opinion on that multiple times on the podcast. So that made it even more funny to where she said if a random watches it, they might not get it as much, but I'm sure they'll still think it's funny. But I really enjoyed it. And then they had the callers YouTube. That was new today. I had to kind of watch that abbreviated because I got a new guy I'm working with, and I was watching it while I was riding shotgun, and I clearly had AirPods in. I was like, all right, I got to watch this real quick for research, and he just didn't stop talking. So like I'm like only half consuming the audio of the thing because he just didn't stop talking, and I'm just like I wasn't gonna be rude and tell him like for a third time, hey, I'm occupied for like 10 minutes, sorry, but yeah. So I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I saw him kind of go through and give the rundown on everything, and I might actually have to rewatch it, but from what I
Yeah,
did see, I
I
enjoyed
wish
it.
I had because when I went and bought my new barbell, I asked them for the axle collars,
Mm.
and they charged me like $15 for them, but whatever. But they're just these 3D printed pieces of plastic that don't actually fit on the collar. And
Oh,
then I
that's
get it
lame.
home and I'm doing my research, and it turns out this thing's actually 2 inches. She told me they're not. My regular collars fit and they don't spin. Yeah, I was pretty pissed about it.
There's a lot of discrepancy with the with imported axles. That's so Titan has one for sale right now. There's their 7 foot one they sell for like $75 in America delivered, and I really considered it, but I've had a lot of people telling me like, yeah, you can use your regular collars, which to me it's like it kind of rubs me the wrong way that it says like it's a 1.9 axle and you'll need 1.9 axle collars. I'm like, okay, cool, I have those. That's all I want to keep in the garage. And then like it comes in, and I think I had a couple of different buddies measure it, and it was like 195 or something. So not a true 2 inch, but close enough to where axle collars literally won't fit. And we've had
Yep.
multiple people in the Discord talk about it this week, and it's just more like I get for most people it'd be more beneficial because you can use your regular collars, but it's just like I don't know. If you tell me it's an axle and then it comes in 2 inches, it's like I don't know. I'm getting into the weeds of my annoyance of things, but it's also like I don't know.
Yeah, but now I can experience that too because I'm
Yeah.
also annoyed that I bought those collars on their
Yeah.
advice, and then I get it home and the
They
Strength
don't
Co
need it.
ones just snap on fine and don't spin.
Hmm.
And I was just like, then why did I buy these? Because I can't even. They're these weird pinchy ones and they don't
Yeah.
fit.
I think the strength will probably fit tighter than a lot of other collars too, though. So that might,
They
well,
are the
either way,
best.
if you're closer to 2 inches,
They're the
that's
best collars. I
yeah.
actually, I think I mentioned it. Like my wife, who previously lifted before children, she came into the gym one day and she was using my regular clippy collars, and then I showed her the Strength Go ones, and she said, "If you guys ever do a product, you need to do these because these are the
Hmm.
best collars I have ever seen." Like they're so
That's
convenient and they're so easy,
oh, there's an
and they don't
idea.
take up any room, and you can like load plates on them and then remove them to like finish loading the plate. She's like, "These are the best," and I was like, "Yeah, I agree. These are definitely the best collars I've ever had in my gym."
I bet
Shout
we
out to
could.
Strength Co.
I bet we could sell 40 pairs of those branded with unpaid and underrated. I think we'd have to buy 100 to get them fucking at cost or something. But I bet 40 homies would buy a pair of those. But
they,
yeah, I don't
they
think that's
they
gonna
should
be
just
Better
ours.
say
because I don't have any yet. So
they should just say Keith and Joey, not even unpaid and underrated. Just
What else would we have? Dude, Tyler's video of so Tyler's safe. I asked, those are my first concern. I was like, "Are you okay, buddy?" Because that's 400 pounds hitting the cooking concrete at speed. He said he was fine. So once I knew he was fine, the floodgates opened with like, how
hmm.
can I make this a meme? So first I had to steal Big Moto's meme apparently, like without realizing it.
You did too. You stole that right
Oh,
out
I
from
did.
under him. Yep.
Well, in my defense, like his was a slow build up with like a 10 seconds of, oh, here's Tyler, and then like right at the end there's Brad the Pad. So like I probably liked it without even seeing it. Like I know I liked it. I
You did
vague
too. You even
after the
you
no,
even
I did
reacted,
react.
he said.
He got so butthurt and like screamed. He's like, I got the proof, you fucker. And I was just like, I felt bad, but like, and not that bad. But like there were so many memes about Tyler, and I think I've been carrying it on into like the second and third day just because it's like how can I make this more, how can I make this better? And then like crop the photo itself and just putting that into other stuff. And
Oh,
It has
it
been the
was good.
highlight of
It
my
was good
week.
quality. Like you guys really did really well with
Yeah,
that meme. I
that's
was
been the
laughing.
highlight.
I even showed it
But
to Morgan, and I was just like, "This is how far we take stupid shit," because it's good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, the second
Uh,
I saw the video, I was just waiting for someone to post Brad the Pad catching him, and
Yeah,
yeah.
someone finally did.
it was the most logical recourse
Yeah. Yeah,
for
good
that
job, Big
fall.
Moto. Well done, Mofo. Let's see. So just the home gym in general, the community. So Tanner, ironically enough, Tanner joined the wrong one like a week ago and thought, well, so like in his defense, it actually has more members. But I think a lot of them have to be bots because, well,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know, because that one has like the one that's just called home gym, you can't post without getting admin approved. So like, I don't know, that one almost never shows up in my feed. I see something on that like once a week, maybe. Whereas I see like 10 posts from Garage, the one by Garage Gyms a day probably. So I think I'm sure I think Tanner had already found it, but I think I ended up sharing him the link. I was like, no, it's this one, and like I invited him like via the app, and so he got in there and just been shit posting and trolling all day.
I don't know what that's
Um,
like.
yeah, and then Joey got on there and started shit posting and trolling, and then you know,
Um,
it's just
I have never made myself laugh so hard
excuse me.
as much as I did today trolling that site.
Hmm.
It's like these people take themselves so seriously.
I mean, it is a good resource. So I get where if people get
It's
butthurt
it's a
because
good
people use that
resource.
resource to spend $20,000 by taking advice from these people. So when we have people just completely being clowns, it
No,
could get
man,
old,
it's
but
a good resource,
you
but
can usually tell.
so is the gym at my elementary or the library at my elementary school, right? Like it's like some of the stuff people are asking and talking about in
Oh
there.
yeah,
You're like,
no,
are
it
you
was
like somebody today? I didn't respond and I really wanted to. The question was, what's a good alternative to a stair stepper? And I was like, fucking stairs. Just go find some stairs and walk up them. Like
they were probably more like, what is a cost-effective thing to put in my garage that is
stairs.
similar? I get,
Like
but
I understand a little bit of it, but at the same time, I was just like, yeah. And then some of the reactions to my one post about the pokey holes on my deadlift bar, which was I think actually from Gary
someone
or
else, yeah, someone said
somebody said
something in
you
the
should do
Discord,
this, and I was like,
and
I'm
you
in.
like took it word for word
Yeah,
and
I was
threw it
like,
in
I'm
there. Like,
fucking in. And no, but
so
I added the
you,
fingerless gloves.
okay, because you basically pulled a Big Keith stealing Big Moto's thing, and then passing it off for yourself. Because
No,
too much.
I took the idea of knurling being too harsh, and I added the gloves, which I knew would
Yeah, the
trigger
gloves was.
people. Oh my God, I'm being called every name in the books right now by these
Yeah.
guys that take themselves so seriously.
Yeah, I feel like that should have been a joke giveaway because if you have a deadlift bar, I guarantee you're not lifting with gloves on the regular.
Right? Like, why would I buy a $600 Texas deadlift bar to use gloves? But these guys are just like, look at this fruit, look at this nerd, get your tampon in. Like, these guys are going
Saw
so
the
hard on
tampon
me, and
comment.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, ah. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is why I don't like Facebook.
Uh,
It brings out a side of me.
yeah. Let's see. So I got a quick little story. I have a mystery box. So it's, I don't think it's podcast related. I'm so very confused. We have a guest coming up that sent Joey and I both a decent amount of stuff that I know we're saving that. But I had a box from Rogue show up the other day, and it ended up being something that I was researching and looking at online like the week before. And I'm like, did I accidentally order this? Like, there's no way. So I went back into my app. I have no orders. I have no emails. I have no correspondence. I went through like both my emails. I went anything that's ever been attached to Rogue, scoured my credit card, scoured PayPal, scoured Venmo, anything that would like be an like that could be like a quick double tap and pay. And I'm like, it's nowhere. It's like it's a $30 thing. It's basically $50 delivers. It's an add-on for one of my benches so I can stand it up vertically safely without it like tipping over. And I think I had posted it on Facebook. So like, I still don't know if someone gifted it to me or if somehow I'm gonna have a credit card bill that shows up in a month because like I can't imagine even if I signed in as a guest I would have had to input my credit card because like and there's no way I like sat there long enough to like auto do that. I don't understand.
You gotta
I'm
lay
so
off the meth,
confused
man. You gotta lay off the
and it's
meth.
given me so much anxiety. So whoever did it, you have caused me so much turmoil and confusion. But thank you, or I bought it myself, and I'll figure that out in a month when it shows up on my credit card invoice, which should already be there, but it's not. So
both
I don't know.
both are hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. It literally like interrupted my workout to the point of like, all right, did I spend $50 and not realize it? Because like that shouldn't be a thing, and it's like it's not here, but like it's not on because like Rogue has I have a list of everything I've ever bought from Rogue like on my checkout thing like on my app, and it's like
Of course,
it's not here.
on a
It's literally
spreadsheet.
no, it's not my spreadsheet. It's fucking Rogue's
Oh.
user history. So anyway, that was the last thing I had for that. We can basically rate two episodes if anyone had a chance. So Massonomics obviously had their episode. It was what was it? The guide to building a home gym for powerlifters specifically. But then they also were on Let's Get Stupid last night, which pretty much aired live and has already been out all day today. So I don't know if either of you had a chance to catch that. Great episode. Really enjoyed both of them. I'll go through them real quick. So my favorite part of the Massonomics episode was probably where I mean, all the home gym talk is always nice. I agree and disagree a little bit here and there, but not to get in the weeds. It's always cool to just hear him talk about it. Tanner going on a rant about like safety in the workplace for like 6 minutes. I felt like it might not have been that long, but it just felt like it was like I remember listening to it on Sunday and just being like, he's still talking about safety. Like I had to like kind of like zone back in. And I was like, he's still talking about workplace safety. I'm so confused. So that I really enjoyed that. And then last night's episode of Let's Get Stupid, just Tanner kind of just taking control of every podcast he ever gets on and essentially interviewing the actual host always cracks me up. He does it on every podcast he's ever been on that I've ever listened to. Um, so he actually pulled a lot of stuff out of Tom Callis that like because fucking Finn never asks Callis anything hardly, and when he does, he'll just like burp and halfway through it and like ruin the whole fucking segment. And then so actually hearing Callis like be asked questions and be interviewed was kind of a different change of pace. So I enjoyed that. So for all of those reasons, I'll go ahead and give that 5 out of 5 death whistles.
I didn't listen to it, so I have no ratings.
I did end up catching the Huck and Barbell Show podcast today while I was working out. And yeah, like he said, Tanner just took it over like he does with every podcast he's a guest on. Um, and yeah, it was really just like Tanner and Tommy with Huck Finn and Tom Callis as the guest.
Basically, I enjoyed that. So what are you gonna rate that, Garrett? Either of them or both, whatever you want to do.
Honestly, they were both good. They're both 5 out of 5 barbell collars.
There you go. There you go.
All the home gym talk, I did get through the Massonomics one, not the Let's Get
Yeah, I was
Stupid
gonna
one.
circle back to you on that one.
Yeah, yeah, there are things I agree and disagree with. Obviously, the idea that powerlifting has a low barrier to entry is kind of true, right? I think you can see that by looking at the results of any meet, and there's like 50 people, and they're all just lifting minimal weights. Like, I don't think powerlifting is that hard to get into, but I think if you're very serious about it, there are barriers to entry, right? Like, it's like, you might just be a mediocre lifter like me, and you can walk in and do a meet and still get first because you're the only person in your every class, like age, weight, lunar symbol, whatever. But I do think there are some barriers. I did enjoy, and actually, what got me to join this stupid Facebook group was Tanner saying 300,000 members. That's just
Oh
Facebook.
yeah, they were talking. Yeah, that was fucking. Oh yeah, good. I think I was even gonna write that. I commented that on Discord. I should have put it in. That
Yeah,
was a fucking hysterical.
that's just Facebook. That's
Yep.
so many people that's not a group anymore. That's just all of Facebook. And then when I saw him today doing his trolling for the stall mats, I was just like, oh, I want in on this bad. So I'm going to give that one 5 out of 5 fingerless lifting gloves.
Nice. Yeah. When Tanner said that, I think that like I mean I laugh a few times each episode, probably out loud, but like that was the hardest I think I've audibly laughed out
Yeah,
loud and
same.
like couldn't stop laughing was when he was comparing that to Facebook. I loved it.
Actually,
Um,
I want to say I think there was one from about 1 or 2 weeks ago when Tanner said was reading, no, Tommy was reading the comments, and Tanner was saying he likes to hit people with like chief or big dog or
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And
My
Tommy
guy.
said in passing, "Oh yeah, that deserved a my guy." I laughed so hard at that because like that's so funny. Yeah, just hitting people with my guy is a really good one. Anyway,
Well, Garrett, was there anything we missed from this week's weekly roundup? As we should have come up with the general topics. We should get some fancy name, be original and be like, this is this segment, and this is the general topic updates of Massonomics world. Anything we missed out on you want to touch base on and remind us of?
Honestly, I don't remember the podcast that came out this week because, like
No,
I
no, no, no.
said,
Like the world of Massonomics as
oh,
a
the
whole, like
world.
anything in Discord you've seen in the last 7 days that we didn't
I
touch
feel
base on.
like this week we've gotten a lot more new members
Yeah,
than the
yeah,
past few months.
facts.
So I just noticed that quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I figured definitely it seems like there's been a heavy influx for sure, so it's good. Oh yeah, because it's two or three. We finally got Kyle from Kaizen Training, Ashton from one
No,
of. No, he
Kyle
did.
joined?
He did. I've got proof that he did. He just didn't join up on Discord, but
Oh,
he officially, like, I saw that in back channels and on Instagram. Rory from Mormon Strength. He makes some cool adapters for lever arms, handles, and who's the other one that joined up? Oh, Ashton from Freedom Fitness Equipment, one of our sponsors. One of the guys that we can get code unpaid at Freedom Fitness Equipment. Save you a couple percent.
is that true?
It is. That's just yes.
How
Um,
do we not know that? That's not you don't announce that one every week.
I know because no one's used it in a year and a half we've had it, so it kind of like
Oh, okay.
doesn't. I didn't want to elaborate. All right, Garrett,
Ow.
you got the Massonomic sponsor read for us, big dog.
I
Big
sure
dog.
do.
Hit him with a big dog.
Come on, Chief.
It's not the first time I've heard that one. You want to learn how to get strong, how to stay strong, and how to use your strength? You want a couple of chill Midwestern guys explaining to you better than experiencing them in real life? Then come grace your ears with the Massonomics Podcast. Based out of Western Northeast South Dakota, the Massonomics Podcast is truly like none other. While it is about lifting, it is also about nothing. From crispy boys to bidets, the Massonomics Podcast is the only source of information you'll ever need again. And if you join the crew, then you'll have the best monthly membership money can afford. You get exclusive drops, direct communication with the podcast host, and of course the best group of friends you'll ever have. Most podcasts are all the same to me, but the Massonomics Podcast is unique. So unique they have released an episode every week for over 8 years now. They will never let you down.
That's wild. 8 years. Well done,
And
Garrett. Thank you.
and they will
Appreciate
never
that.
let you down. All right. Should we get our guest on the horn?
Yeah, and I know because I saw Carp's big head in there a second ago. We've got to kick him out. He can't be
Yep.
here for this. It's
Yeah,
time to get rid of everybody.
he's already out. Booted.
All right, yeah. I guess see if you can get Garrett on the line.
All right, Garrett, is that you?
That is me. I'm here.
You are live on Unpaid and Underrated. This whole new experience for you that you've never had for the last half an hour. So let's dive right into the first question there. What brought you to Massonomics? That's the only thing that wasn't in your notes. How much you love
Yeah.
it. I was looking at your stuff online, your whole gym, your whole outfits. Like you are dialed into Massonomics, but nobody could tell us why or how. So please elaborate.
Yeah, so I've been like Massonomics adjacent way before I joined the crew. My friend Dr. Ryan Hanks down in Florida, he put on a charity powerlifting meet in 2022, and that was my first powerlifting meet I ever did. And there was he had Massonomics like t-shirts and stickers as prizes, and I'm like, who the heck are these guys? Like, this is kind of weird. A lifting company out of South Dakota. I bet they're kind of lame. um. Anyway, so then I put on the USD Liftathon a few months later, and I reached out to Massonomics because I'm like, well, they're from South Dakota. Maybe they'll donate some T-shirts and stuff. And Tanner like emailed me back within a day or two, and yeah, he was awesome about it. Gave us free T-shirts. Actually, gave us a band lift banner for a prize, and I have one now because no one took it. So, um, but yeah, ever since like Tanner sent me stuff, I've listened here and there, and then probably the summer of 2023, I started listening every single week. And then I started hearing about this crew stuff, and I'm like, well, this is kind of dumb. Like, that's
Correct.
just me. Like, everything I hear is just like, well, what's the point of this? And then I actually learned about it, and then I think I responded to like a story of Keith's one time, or I liked it, and then he um reached out to me. He's like, "Are you crew?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm thinking about joining."
I say that to so many
And
people. Like I interact so much more if I know your crew.
yes. And so, like, I think it was a few days or a few weeks later, I joined the crew, and I've been here ever since.
Hell yeah. Chalk
And
that one up for another big Keith win.
it's been a wild ride.
Oh wow.
What? It's been a wild ride.
It's
Okay.
been a wild.
It's been a while. I'll give you that one. Yep.
No, I love hearing that story. Like, well done. I'm glad to have you, Garrett.
I love the idea that Keith won't talk to you unless you're crew.
Was that on my personal or through you and you?
It was your personal.
Okay. Well, it's because something like I don't. It's always weird. It's just like do I know you? Do I not know you? Or do I know you just because of home gym stuff? Do I know you because of powerlifting? Do I know you because of Massonomics? Like, if it is Massonomics, how deep are you into Massonomics? Because it's honestly like I invest less into people that I'm not either personal friends with or they aren't crew. Like you only get like a reaction back, whereas if you're crew, you might get a sentence back, or a
And that's
dialogue.
that's my favorite thing is he doesn't ask how do I know you. He goes, "Are you crew?"
Well,
And then he goes from there. Like your level of importance is based from that answer.
Yeah. Like, are you in
So
my cult or not?
I just sent a picture of the whistle to Morgan and she's like, "You guys are fucking rude." Anyway, where do we find you? Instagram and Discord's probably Big Garrett, I can assume.
Yeah, I think I'm the only Garrett in the crew, probably overall. At least the
Yeah.
only one mostly active on Discord. But Instagram, I am Garrett.cscs77, and then my training account is GC_strength_systems. And if
Big,
you find me on Facebook, you can add me too. I really don't care. I've had Keith added me today, and Jake the Snake added me yesterday, so.
big underscore guy over here. Big underscore guy. So where are you from? Are you in the South Dakotas?
I am in the South Dakotas. I am from Ethan, South Dakota. In relation to Crew Falls, it's about 60 miles straight west. And in relation to Aberdeen, it's about 2.5 hours south.
Hmm.
Town of about 300 people.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm in my parents'
Is that even a
basement right
town?
now.
Like, are those even considered towns? Like, what's smaller than a town?
Yeah.
Because can a town have
Um,
300 people?
A
my
square, a
dad,
square of 300 people.
just wait, it gets better. My dad grew up well, he didn't grow up in the town, but like a mile away from this town, it has one building and it's considered a town.
Oh wow,
Mm.
that's unique.
Yep.
The mail
But yeah,
system is
I
really
am
wild out there.
yeah. It's all gravel roads and somehow there's like a legitimate town there. It's called Esmond, South Dakota, if anyone's interested and to actually looking for that.
We'll add it to the to-do list next time we're in South Dakota.
Yeah.
We'll all hit Esmond.
If we said that 3 years ago, it would be ironic. Now I still won't go there. But like the fact that we're all going to go to South Dakota more times before we die is wild.
It
Uh,
is wild. I was actually joking
and
about that with Morgan the other day because about the idea that Joey, do you just live here now? And I was like, I would really fit in if I lived in South Dakota. She's like, yeah, that sucks. Like that's weird.
did I miss? Was that pretty much where you've always lived? I know you went to school other
Oh yeah.
places, but
Yeah, I've
that's
lived in
home.
Ethan since I was birthed, and I went to Vermilion for at USD for college. Went for pre-med pretty much, and I'm just trying to get into med school now.
Okay,
Um, but yeah, I moved back home because it's a lot cheaper living in your parents' basement than it
for
is
sure.
renting an apartment.
I gotcha.
Uh, but yeah,
So
I've
how do
lived
you
here
how do you
forever, and
kind of do pre-med? You didn't seem committed that you did pre-med. Is it just the way like the the program is that it's like, you can do a bunch of different things and still be considered pre-med?
yeah, like some schools have a designated pre-med like program slash major. But USD doesn't really have a specific pre-med. Like you can major in anything and get into medical school as long as you
Okay.
have the right prerequisites. So I technically majored in medical biology and neuroscience.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I mean, regardless of what happens, that's two other fields you can help fall back into. You are, how old are you? You're just out of college
I am
essentially, right?
24, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're a baby. Jesus Christ, you were young.
Yeah, I know.
So
When I
yeah, you don't.
actually when I first got into the crew, I'm like, gosh, I feel like I'm one of the youngest people here. And then we went to Lift Hard, Live Easy last year, and I lifted, and my dad made the same comment. He's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, all these guys are like in their 30s and 40s. What the heck are you
Yeah, we
doing
are.
here?"
That's good stuff. Well, that makes a little more sense why your Instagram and Facebook only goes back to 2022 because we're like
Yeah,
you didn't start it probably till you were in your early 20s. It seems like. So that's cool. So as far as med school, is that like you're applying to places, you have to get accepted, or it's more like a financial decision of like when you can apply? Like what's the deal with that? Curious. I don't.
yeah, no, it's just a long waiting process right now. Like,
Okay,
ideally, I want to get into USC medical school, and right now I'm just waiting on a yes or no from them.
gotcha.
This morning I just had an interview with the University of Kansas, and it'll be a few weeks before I hear anything from them. So
Hmm.
basically, applying to medical school is just a lot of waiting, as
Gotcha.
Dr. Jake will probably tell you as well.
Yep.
And yeah, like the financials, it's like you're gonna have to take a loan out regardless because
Mm.
it's even USD is the cheapest school. It's 34,000 a semester. Like you have to take a loan out for that.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money, my friend. Well, hopefully it's something you have put a lot of thought, and it sounds like you put a lot of thought into it if you're willing to, if that's what you're signing yourself up for. So that is
Yeah, I
a
mean, I've dedicated the last six,
that's a big
10 years
commitment.
of my life for
Yeah.
it. So
But you're working right now. You're working what as a personal trainer, and you have a couple other gigs, like part time or side gigs you're doing, or what are you keeping busy with these days while you're waiting to get into doctor school?
my main job, I would consider I am full time as a nurse aide in a hospital about 10
Okay,
miles south of me. And then, yeah, like the training, coaching is like a side business. I'm trying to like start and keep going so I at least have some income in medical school versus just living off of loans. So,
cool.
yeah,
Well,
that's pretty much that story.
well, cool. We'll, keep us posted on how that goes. We'll hopefully we can get you on some, hopefully Tanner get you on supporting your supporting members that you got accepted to medical school before too long. That'd be cool to hear.
Ah, it would be.
Um, well, as far as all that goes, Hall of Fame status, you got one of those? You've
I
been around
sure
long enough?
do. Yeah, I am at, actually, this will put me at 10. And
Okay,
Nice.
then February 26th will be 11 for me because I'll have a year then.
nice.
And then I either need to somehow win a contest or attend the Arnold, but I'm not going to do that um, because I don't like traveling that much. Anything over 2 hours for me is just torture. Like, I do not like moving at all. Otherwise, I'm trying to get through the first 400 episodes before the Lift Hard, Live Easy so I can get my silly pint there.
Where you at in that journey, and how is that treating you?
I'm at episode 130 right now.
Not bad.
And yeah, I need to get to about 365 to, because that's when I started regularly listening, about 365.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get through at least like one and a half a day is what I need to get to. And I'm going through about two. So
Hey, nice. You're on track. So keep that up, and you'll get that silly pint for too long. As far as the recent certification, I know it looks like your little bedroom slash basement slash parents' house is technically a certified gym currently. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Nice.
So it was like late October, early November. I'm like, gosh, what the heck do I get my parents for Christmas? And okay, side tangent to this. My dad
Absolutely.
actually started powerlifting last January. He
Okay.
comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, I want to do that lift-a-thon you're putting on in 3 months." Meanwhile, he hasn't lifted since he was in his early 20s in college, and he's 56 right now.
Did he bench four or
And I'm
five back
like,
then?
no, he benched 495 actually.
Oh wow. Really? Or
Yeah,
just
no,
fucking
he's
with me?
really strong.
That's
No, he
actually
didn't. I
okay.
have no idea what he did.
No, yeah. I was just like, I was making a bit, and I'm like, oh, now
Yeah, turn it
he
around on you.
reverse Uno'd me, and I don't know if he's joking or not. And I'm just looking like that. Okay, cool. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's I love when I love when like it's awesome when anybody gets into strength sports, but it's even cooler I think when like someone in their 50s because like you got so much working against you, your joints hurt, you're fucking old, you're just like you're ready to just phone it in and work for another 10 years and then just fucking be retired and just be done and then you're like, "No, I'm gonna fucking I want to live longer. I want to not hurt when I get off the toilet." So that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that.
yeah, it was awesome, and he somehow got through it. Did his first meet, didn't get hurt. That was the main goal. I told him the whole time. I'm like, if we can get you out of this, get you like some good hard attempts and not get hurt. That's gonna be our main goal here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he started powerlifting, and then like I said, like late October, early November, I'm like, what the heck do I get them for Christmas? And that I was looking at Titan quite a bit because they always had like the cheap but decent quality stuff.
Yeah, it's fair.
And I'm like, gosh, what if I just got them a home gym? What are the odds of that? So I started throwing stuff in the cart, and I'm like, I can make this work. I already have a deadlift bar and a barbell. I just need a rack and like some kind of lat tower low row thing, and I have a basic gym.
Yep.
And I got plates from my future father-in-law actually, because he used to play football for a um arena league team, and he used to work out at home. So I saved a lot of money on plates. Plates are ungodly expensive, I feel
Uh-huh.
like.
Yeah, buddy.
Like,
Especially
yeah,
if
it's
there's like
crazy.
if you can't find a good used deal. If you can't get them for like 50 cents to a dollar a pound used, you're like, fuck, I gotta get plates delivered. That's like, you can get cheap shit on Amazon that's garbage for
Hmm.
like $2 a pound maybe, or sometimes the bumpers go on sale, but then you're gonna max the bar out. But yeah, that's awesome if you were able to get a hookup for some plates from the future in-law there.
Yeah, so I got the plates, I got the rack, I had the barbells already because I bought them for myself and I just took them to where I was training. I had a deadlift jack, I bought some bumper plates. I found a hyperextension in Aberdeen actually, and I had Big Anthony pick it up for me,
Big Andy's
and
a
that's
great
kind of
dude. He's such a
he
good
is.
dude. Very friendly
He's
gentleman.
like awesome. And like he told me, I'm like, so you got to be like basically done with the Hall of Fame, right? He's like, no, I kind of just joined and started. I'm like, but you've been going to Massonomics for years. So
Stuff.
yeah, I got pretty much everything I could want. I mean, obviously, I'm still looking at stuff and I
Yeah.
want more stuff, like any good gym
So
owner does.
I got a good follow up here. So you were saying like so do you still go to any commercial gyms and take your bars with you? And has your dad ever come downstairs and said, "Where the fuck's the deadlift bar? I was deadlifting today," and you have it in your car 30 miles the other direction?
No, we have not had that
Oh,
problem yet.
that'd be
Because,
funny if
like,
you did.
the people I train, they're not gonna
Yeah,
need a deadlift bar
I feel that.
within 3 years. So,
Okay.
So
Yeah,
how did that lead to the certification?
well, I think Hogan's the one that brought that up, right?
Oh no, we asked you about it and then you said because you built the home gym. So
I just
you just decided to get the home gym certified
Oh,
because you had the home gym. Is that the end of the story on that one?
oh yeah. Like I told myself, basically anything new Massonomics drops, I'm going to buy, and this was the one I really wanted.
Tanner just got a
And
heart on
then
listening to that.
I know he's gonna get so much money from me over the next 50 years. Like,
Well,
shoot, on Black Friday he got like $600 out of
yeah, yeah.
it.
Jeez.
It now I remember when you picked up your package, it was crazy. Now, if only Matt Sungling just told Tanner to bring his package there, he would have been, he would have had it already.
I know, he could have just had it delivered to Crew Falls.
Yep. All right. So we already hit. Let's see. You were at the Lift Hard, Live Easy. You were at Crew Falls with us. Speaking of Matt, here's his question. So, what value does a CSCS have in general training realm in the world if everyone's a coach?
And what does CSCS mean?
Yeah.
CSCS stands for Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. In the general strength world, I would say it just gives you a little more insight into the difference between general fitness training and athletes. Like, when I was reading the textbook, 90% of it was about athletes and how you should go about programming and training for them with specifically to their sports. And before that, I was a certified personal trainer at the USD Wellness Center. So I got a little more of the general fitness vibe in there. And I let it expire because it was through ACE, and ACE is kind of a company now. So I'm like, well, I kind of want to keep doing this, but I don't want to just get another personal training cert. So I'm like, what can I do? And the CSCS has always been like adjacent to it. So I'm like, let's get this. And I just did that. And basically now I'm more qualified to train athletes, and I could get a job at like a college or eventually one day I could work at like an NFL team, which would be like dream goal of mine if that were to somehow happen.
Now, would you rank that slightly above or below getting an internship with Tanner at Massonomics Gym?
Ooh, that's a good question.
An,
I
an
would
unpaid internship.
say I would say it's got to be a little bit under.
You guys saw that he posted that where he said in the last 10 years he's got like 20 of these or something, but the most recent one was someone asking to basically be an intern at Massonomics Gym, and it's just kind of was just amusing. And I think Big Jake pointed out that like this needs to start in like 2 weeks, so wait till the last minute to try to find your internship, kid.
Yeah.
So okay, those
Yeah, I
questions you
would.
want to hit him with, Joey? I feel like I don't want to you steal all the thunder.
Mm, damn it, there was one. Oh, any stories where you were going through the backlog and realized the joke after the fact? Because rumor has it that you like to make jokes that are also connected to the backlog, and you might not realize it sometimes.
Yeah, you got a twofer there. Good deal. Click, click.
Yes, I do that a lot. As I'm going through the backlog journey, I'm like, oh, so that's where this joke comes from. And yeah, like if I realize something's a joke, I'll just use it without context, like just because everyone else will laugh at it, even if I'm like, what? Why is this funny?
I'll just play along.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's good stuff. How many Instagram pages do you really have from Big Kim? Do you have as many as Keith?
I do not. I only have two. Shoot, even like yeah, I just started this training account a few weeks ago, and like, man, just doing two was like not fun. It is
It's a
hard.
lot.
Like, um,
It's more work than people think, that's for sure.
yeah, like apparently when you're logged into one, you don't get notifications from the message on the other one, which I did not experience until a few days ago. So yeah, that's the hardest thing I would say is just like you gotta switch back and forth and
Oh fuck!
actually keep
You
up.
have you keep notifications like visible notifications on your app. Fuck that noise. I don't. Instagram doesn't talk to me unless I open
Yeah,
it.
no
I
way.
will. I can't. No apps talk to me unless I open them. Like I can't have that. I'm too. What is this? What is this? What is this? I can't have it.
Text
Discord
and
doesn't.
I mean,
text
I'm
and phone
only getting
calls.
Well,
They're
yeah,
the
like
only ones
text.
allowed to talk to me.
No, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, I'm only getting like 15 likes on the thing, so it's not that bad. And plus, my fiance sends me Instagram reels, and I have to respond to them, or she'll tell me, "Go look at these," so I can respond to them.
In
uh,
fucking perpetuity. That is the only thing I hate about Instagram. Stop sending me reels.
Instagram
I mean,
it keeps asking me to turn like I don't know if it's just a thing Meta's been pushing the last couple of weeks, but it's every other time I'm on Instagram, it asks me if I want to turn on push notifications,
No,
and I just
literally never.
But well, obviously, but like it's becoming a nuisance to just having to keep X out of the. Do you want to do this? I'm like, no, motherfucker, stop asking me.
See, I don't get that. I'm a business account, so I don't get that. But yeah, I suppose I could help you a little more on unpaid and underrated, but that's not so funny.
It's all good. I do my best. I hope people like the content. It's literally it's a third of my. I am literally splitting my time in a third. And it's like, what can I put up here that is gonna get a couple likes? And I wish we had more time to do more reels. I like when we can sit there and pull people's ad reads and like throw them up, and Nate can do some graphics. But it's just like, I sorry, I not enough time in the week.
Don't apologize for that.
Um. So the last crew question before we kind of start deep diving into you here is big Midwest Jake from State Farm wants to know let's see, how will you use your strength coach knowledge in the future if or when you become a doctor? Let's just go
Well,
with
I
win. Let's go with win.
yeah, that's a better way to think about it. Ideally, my kind of goal is to be just a family med doc, work on a clinic, and then on the side, I'd like to train some athletes here and there, so I hopefully can keep my cert while I'm going through med school and not let it drop. But I also do want a home gym in the future, and I'm kind of thinking, well, if I make it commercial-ish, like I can train some people out of there and get some athletes going. And like if I have patients, I mean, there's probably a conflict of interest there. I probably can't have a patient and then have them as a training client. So that'd be a different story. But yeah, ideally I'd like to train some people in the future as well. And just like the effect exercise has on the body is crazy, and how it
Absolutely.
almost heals every like ail you can come about. But yet doctors still say, "Oh, don't exercise; it's bad for you," or "Don't deadlift; it's bad for your back." Like, yeah, if you're gonna be like a 13-year-old, throw 500 on the bar and break your back, then it's bad for you. Yeah.
Uh, my wife has been slowly dabbling to getting back into a little bit of training, and
Woo! Go
she was very
Steph. I did see that. I wanted to send her a message.
yeah,
Go Steph.
she doesn't want me posting too much about it, but like she'll never hear that I say this. So she I'm because it's relevant here where you were talking about how working out makes you feel better. Obviously, she literally felt like ass yesterday. She was complaining. She just didn't her back hurt. She just wasn't feeling great. 20 minutes into her workout, she's like, I feel amazing. Like this was like I'm so glad I came down here and did this. Like I thought I was gonna hurt more. Like everything just feels loose and I feel good. And I'm just like, yeah, like yes, like because I mean she trained like, very brutally hard for several years, and then obviously her surgery set her back for the last several years. But she was like, I think I forgot like how good it felt to train when you kind of felt like shit, and I was like, yeah, it's awesome.
When I
So
was over the holidays doing 10 to 12 hour shifts on a hard floor, people would go, does your back hurt? And I would just simply say, no, I'm not weak. No, I don't have a weak
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
And
Like I
it's the
am.
same thing. Like, doing that hurt your back? No, I don't have a weak back at all. So no, it doesn't hurt. Maybe you should look into that, sir.
Yeah,
I
like when I'm on the floor at the home or I work in a nursing home, hospital, and assisted living, so they just kind of throw me wherever they want to. And when people are always like, "How did you lift that person by yourself?" I'm like, "I just did."
Yeah,
Like,
it was easy.
yeah.
All
uh
right. Should we
there
get into
was
some of this other stuff or the hobbies, or do you got one more?
there was one more from Doyle here. It was basically just referencing that you have your gym is literally in the bedroom. So, he said his let's see. I'm not gonna say what he said, but it's just like basically your gym is in in a bedroom, correct? Or like a spare bedroom?
Correct. It is my
Gotcha.
bedroom, it is the basement, it is the storage room, and it is the gym now.
Oh, so
So, yeah.
because your parents thought you were out of the nest there, so they probably your childhood bedroom is no more, and they're like, son, you can come home, but you have to like move some boxes out of the basement.
No, it's still like 30% my room. Like I
Nice.
have all my Star Wars stuff in here yet, and yeah,
So
All right.
he has the
if
ultimate
they ever touch
Yeah.
that, I will not be happy.
he has the ultimate basement gym because it's also just his room, and
Yep.
it's one of those funny things that's like, in now that I'm 40, I would love to sleep in my gym. That would be wonderful every once in a while because it's quiet and it's cold and it's away from everything. So like you're living the dream that some of us kind of wish we had.
Yeah, like I got Home Gym Hub contacted me and he's like, "Oh, you want to get your gym on?" I'm like, "Heck, yes, I do." So
Yep.
I filmed it and like, yeah, you'll see whenever he posted. It's my bed is right next to the horse stall mats.
Nice.
Oh, you have
All
horse
right.
stall mats? What are those like?
What's
You
favorite
know,
color? What's your favorite color was the
What's
most
your
fucking
favorite color?
obtuse. Like that made me chuckle just because I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like it's like I think it was so funny and like out of left field and it's like oh it's good. But all right, Big Garrett, we do gotta move this along. We got a little game we came up with originally all to ourselves. You know, no one else has ever played this. Completely original. It's also relatively new. So least fun, most fun. So any of Garrett's friends and family listening for the first time, I'm gonna give Garrett a single topic, and he just kind of has to use his druthers and go through and tell me the least fun thing about it, or the most fun thing about it, and elaborate as little or as much as he wants. So Garrett, specifically for you, least fun, most fun, playing the piano.
oh, it's the most fun thing ever. Uh, yeah, I started playing when I was about 8 years old, and I hated it when I started. I'm not gonna lie, but I am very glad my parents forced me to do it and made me do it. And yeah, now I can play pretty much anything I want to. I'm a big 70s, 80s guy, so I play a lot of like Journey. I play Journey has mostly piano songs. I can't think of any others I play. Queen I play a little bit. But yeah, I just love playing piano and it's so fun. And then except when you play for like 2 or 3 hours at a time, then your
Oh
hands
God,
hurt. Oh my
that's
God,
excessive.
it's a different feeling, I'll tell you that much.
So least fun is playing for 3 hours. If you had to like pinpoint just for the name of the game, like in a sentence, the most fun thing about playing piano.
The most fun thing is playing songs you like and playing it for others, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so amazing."
That tracks. That's cool. Good. I dig it. I dig it. All right. Uh,
In what scenario, while you're looking for a new question there, in what scenario are you playing for 3 hours?
yeah, good question.
Like
Yeah, so
straight, or are you like a lounge
on and
guy?
off, like, yeah, so I play for our church, and we have weddings and funerals there. So
Mm.
some funerals last a long time, and I'm playing probably 75% of the time, and yeah, like in the weddings especially, I play for like 45 minutes, half an hour straight of just me playing. And like after that, oh man, my hands are they're tired.
What's the coolest wedding song you've been asked to play? Because some people like their weird wedding songs. Like I know you got your bridal march and you've got your all that kind of stuff. Like what's the one? Has anybody ever asked you like, "Hey man, I want this weird song, like a wrestling entrance or a rock song or just something that was so different while they walked down the aisle?"
Yeah, so another story. I'm also Catholic, so we can't really have crazy wedding songs.
Oh,
But
okay.
the few non-Catholic weddings I have played for, like there's been like modern country songs I've played, or like some 80s ballads I've played, and those are really fun to play.
All right. Well, yeah, that
Nice.
extends my piano questions.
Yeah. So
Found an instrument I know nothing about.
so I know you touched base on it earlier about the lift-a-thon. Do you want to elaborate on that? What that is? What that's a charity for? What your involvement is, etc., and all that?
I sure do, and I'm gonna fully plug this thing. um,
Do it up.
so
That's why we're here.
Lift-a-thon, charity powerlifting meet we do every year for the Special Olympics of South Dakota. We've raised around 25,000 so far in the last 3 years we've done it. And it's just something I kind of took under my wing because my friend Dr. Ryan Hanks started it and he kept it going. And the very first year, I helped them out, and that's kind of what got me into powerlifting training. I'm
Hmm.
like, man, this was so fun, and like, I want to kind of do this in the future. And so I kind of took it over because he went to Florida because he doesn't like the cold in the winter. So took it over for him, ran it kind of very horribly because it was the first like major lifting meet I've ever done, and I've only went to 2 powerlifting meets before that. So yeah, ran it, kept it going, and then last year the PT school kind of took it over, but I still help out as like the quasi meet director because I kind of know a lot about powerlifting through me doing it and just through Massonomics, and I just help them out and try to make it so it's a good meet and not just like a charity thing where it's kind of lame and they just do it to raise money.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and actually, a couple days ago, I just got Build Fast Formula to hop on to sponsor like meet, so that was really cool.
Oh, that is great. That's a good family out there. We're close friends with everyone out there.
Yeah, I think let's see, I got Pioneer. So the big thing about our meet, Pioneer, I somehow got Matt to
That's
give
sick.
me a free custom belt to the overall male and female winner. And that is like the coolest thing ever to me. And I'm trying to get barefoot on yet. They're not responding to me.
Yeah,
um,
that's gonna be a hard one.
I got barefoot last year,
Hmm.
but man, they're just not following up. No disrespect to them. Like I love barefoot, and I know they're busy, but I just wish they would respond faster. Um, and then I got obviously Massonomics. Tanner's going to send me some stuff here when I ask him to. Um, I got Cerberus to send me six $50 gift cards for the
That's
best
awesome.
lifts. So
Wow.
that's really cool. Yeah. I don't know how I'm talking these companies into sending me free stuff, but I guess I got some magic words or something.
Have you reached out to Kim at Barbell Rescue? He's always down for a good cause.
I did forget that one. Kim is sponsoring the meet with
There you go.
the official Bar Brush
I mean,
Show
he
lift-a-thon.
was right up until you forgot him. I mean, he might have
Yeah.
something to say about that now. I mean, you might have to go get the Amazon the 180 brush or something and sponsor yourself.
Well, I already have the brushes, so
Oh, well, Kim's a really good guy. That's awesome.
oh yeah.
I'm glad you're getting some crew to help out with all that. That's good stuff. So yeah, we got the liftathon covered, so that's good. As far as your lifting history, did you touch base on your personal lifting history at all, other than like just
Not
like
at
the
all,
coaching
no.
aspect? Yeah. You want to give us like a 2 minute version of that, I guess, catch us up?
Yeah, so like, you do the typical I played high school sports, I did some weight training in the summer. I never really liked it because the coaches we had were eh. But then again, my friend Dr. Ryan Hanks, he was like my personal trainer in high school. And during the summers, like that's when I fell in love with lifting and I just kept doing it. And so from there, like after high school, I kind of went into bodybuilding
Mm.
training or just like kind of general fitness stuff. And then I helped him out with his powerlifting meet, got really into strength training, loved that. Did my first powerlifting meet. But then after my meet, I'm like, God, I feel like crap. I don't want to do this again. So I'm like, maybe I won't. But then I ended up doing liftathon, and from there I was hooked. And like now I'm just fully into powerlifting. And now actually, I did enter the Los Campeones strongman meet
Oh yeah,
on
yeah, I remember
February
seeing that.
22nd.
That'll be fun. That'll be
So I
fun.
am very much looking forward to that.
Dude, strongman is a blast. You're gonna have fun, even if you like. It is just it's fun. Strongman is so fun,
Yeah.
and actually, I think there should be a few other crew, even if they're not competing. Like you got to be able to talk a handful of guys into coming out, even if they're not competing, that or live
Yeah,
in
Big
freaking Sioux Falls.
Colton told me he's going to help volunteer probably. And I'm wondering if Mr. Paul Floss is
Paul
not
talked
doing
to,
that one too.
I think he had mentioned about needing to find a place to train circus dumbbell, so I'd assume it's
Yeah, and there's a
for
circus dumbbell
yeah.
in that
So
meet.
I know he
So,
might not be signed up, but I know he's contemplating it if not. So that's
mhm.
cool. So your Star Wars, I'm sure Joey can nerd out on some Star Wars if there's any, unless you're saving it for any of the games later.
Nope.
So yeah,
And
what was your,
it got mentioned several times
yes.
about how much you love Star Wars.
Yeah, just to show how much I love Star Wars, I probably have over 100 action figures of Star Wars. So there's
Parentheses, not
that.
dolls, as your note specified. Parentheses, not
Yes,
dolls.
not dolls. Like I'm giving crap for a lot. But yeah, my dad introduced me with the original trilogy, of course, and when I was like 6, 7, 8. And conveniently around that time, Star Wars was coming out with the Clone Wars TV show. So I
Mm.
started watching that. I got really into Star Wars, like learned everything I possibly could about it. And yeah, I probably have watched the main 6 movies every single year since I was 5 or 6 years old.
Really, nothing on the final three.
The final 3 exist. They're there. I try not to be super hateful, but like they're not the top-notch quality movies.
No,
I just don't like watching them. No.
no, I'm a Kylo Ren fan, but I can also say like I've tried to sit and watch those movies, and I've said it before on this podcast. Like Kylo Ren is probably one of the most powerful Jedi's they've ever put on TV,
Yes.
and somehow still made him boring. Like I
I
don't,
know.
like I don't
It's
understand.
amazing.
You watch that
They made
the first time he shows up, and you're just like, who is this guy? And then by the end of the movie, you're like, who is this guy? Like, like it.
yeah,
I can see what you're saying.
like he comes out with the crossguard lightsaber, like, oh my god, this is so badass. Like, holy
He stops a
smoke.
blaster while still
Right?
controlling like
Yeah.
everybody. Like as even Darth Vader never got shown as that powerful until the Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi show. And then you're just like, oh, by the end of it, he's another Luke Skywalker. He's just a whiny bitch who
Yeah,
just
exactly.
doesn't want to fulfill his destiny.
I
Yeah, I
know, that
said it.
bothers
Luke
me so
Skywalker's
much.
a whiny bitch. Everything sucks. Everything's hard.
For 4 and 5, I will agree, but in 6, he definitely matured a little bit and grew up.
Well,
Well,
he
that
had
was
to,
nice to see.
and
Yeah.
then in the final movies, back to being a whiny
He went,
bitch.
yeah, they reverted Luke Skywalker, and like that probably bothered me the most. Besides, Han Solo is like my favorite character, and then they just killed him off for like
Spoiler
no
alert.
reason.
Have you
Yeah,
heard?
spoiler alert from
Did you
8
listen to any of
years
the
ago.
episodes where we talked about that? Where hello, Carp. Did you? Damn it. Where I talked about the kind of conspiracy theory that Han Solo killed himself.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you did talk
I
about
have
that.
not heard that one. You'll have to elaborate that to me.
Oh, you have a
So
backlog to,
that
to get through.
scene, yeah, that scene with Kylo, um, where he kind of the blaster goes through him, not the blaster, the lightsaber. There is a fan theory that he did it himself to force Kylo Ren to recognize his true nature or whatever that conversation would look like. But there is that conversation that he did it. He registered the lightsaber to do that because he knew that if he didn't, he would continue down the dark path. But if he died, he knew he might be able to save Kylo Ren.
That is an amazing theory. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
It actually changed my perspective of that because at first I was just like, "What? That's so bad." I was all mad, and then somebody said that, and I was just like, "Okay, hold on. Like that's a different perspective."
Yeah, that's like
Changes,
way cooler
right?
than just Harrison Ford wanted a paycheck, but then didn't want to sign on for 2 more movies of Star Wars.
Well, I don't read dirt sheets, so I don't know anything about that.
What, what about the
But
shows? Or are you big into any of the Disney shows?
Oh yeah, I've only watched them once because, like, I mean, you see them once and
Yeah.
you'll watch them again in a few years. But The Mandalorian's pretty cool. The Obi-Wan show had its moments where it was
mhm.
good. Basically, only the last episode. Um,
Are you watching
Ahsoka
the?
show was
Yeah, I
awesome.
didn't. You like that? I thought that was. Yeah,
I
Oh,
actually
I
I
love.
didn't even finish
Well,
Ahsoka.
I
I love
loved
it.
Rebels, and Ahsoka was basically an
Yeah,
extension of Rebels.
I heard it.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I didn't watch the animated one, so I didn't. What about what's the new this new one? Skeleton Crew. I got a couple episodes into that, and I'm just like, I can't like. They're like 8-year-olds or 10-year-old characters. Like it's hard for me to like really care.
yeah, and that's kind of keeping me from watching it too. Like, yeah, I want to watch it because it's Star Wars, but it's also like 8, 10-year-olds, and I'm like, how exciting can it really be? But I've also heard it's like amazing, so maybe if I'm bored someday after I'm done listening to the backlog,
I
I'll
mean,
watch it.
Priorities.
Yeah.
once you get into middle school, I hear you're gonna have a ton of time. So you're gonna have a ton of time to
Yeah.
just consume media and like shows and stuff. So you probably get to it then.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have a good engagement story?
I sure do. So, oh, got my ring, got her ring last April, May. And then I kept telling her, oh, it's going to be Christmas, because, like, Christmas is her favorite holiday. For those of you who don't know, it's Big Sid. She is a crew member. She's in the Discord. So, yeah. Christmas is her favorite holiday. So I'm like, okay, I'll propose to you on Christmas. And so I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be too obvious what we're doing then. So I need to think of something else. So I'm like, I was at the hospital one night and all the nurses were like, what are you going to do to get engaged? And I'm like, I have no idea. I am not creative at all. So they brought up, what is she like? And I'm like, well, she likes escape rooms. And I'm like, oh, she likes escape rooms. So I'm like, I started thinking, like, well, it could work. I just have to work it out with the manager. So I contacted an escape room. And she's like, oh, yeah, we've done this before. We're not going to be a problem at all. So got that all worked out. I somehow hid it from her. And, like, her mom is terrible at hiding secrets. So I'm amazed that didn't get blurted out. But yeah, I kept the ring away. I didn't let her see it, even though the whole way to Sioux Falls, it was sitting right next to her. I'm like, oh man, if she like reaches to hold my hand or reaches in my pocket for something, like it's totally gonna give it away. But yeah, so at the end of the escape room, there was a little box there, and like she had the key to open it, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And it happened, asked her, and she said yes, thankfully. So,
Yeah, there you go. That's always a victory.
yeah.
Big wedding PR coming up.
I
Big
Yep.
family PR, we call
We
it.
met through the Matchnomics dating app, and
love that they're running with that too, and that's great. So let's see.
yeah.
So when you guys get married, will that be the full third or fourth? Because of Hogan and his wife, Cody and Scar. There's the what were the musicians from Lift Hard Live Easy one? I don't.
Leah? Is that the
Mm,
right name?
they were like school teachers. God, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. They weren't there. No, this was like so. This was 2 years ago. It wasn't last year.
Oh, okay.
They're in my backlog of people to reach out to, but I haven't seen either of them active on anything in forever. So I actually got to reach out to Tanner. But I was just more like, it's cool that like there's literally going to be like minimum you're going to be the third or fourth like married couple that are both supporting members, if not more than that. I mean that's pretty cool. I like
Yeah, I
that.
kind of forced her into her membership, but in like September before they had the free giveaway stuff, I'm like, you need to join so you can get some stuff, and I like peer pressured her into it, and yeah, it's well worth it. And I'm like, well, if you ever want to lift at their meet someday, you're probably going to have to be a supporting member, otherwise you won't get in.
And she lives?
She does. She like casually worked out before I met her, and then I started training her, and she did the first liftathon with me, and yeah, she's a power lifter now. So
Incredible.
yeah, awesome.
Good work. What is it you don't like about headlights besides the obvious?
Headlights. Well, my
uh,
guess were.
the note said something about auto headlights.
Oh yeah. So uh, like everyone I know has their headlights on auto,
Oh, I know. I hate that.
and I hate it.
It's
It's
on or off because
absolutely
auto
annoying.
means your rear lights are never on. So if you're an asshole that's driving with auto and you think your lights are on in the front, they are, but no one can see you from behind.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like
So
turn your lights on.
I never have them on auto,
Maybe
and
that's well, yeah. Sorry.
like when I'm driving anyone else's car, I always have to turn it, or it just bothers the heck out of me. And like my car, when it's on auto, and I like get out, close the door, lock it, it takes like 20 seconds for the headlights to turn off, and I'm just thinking, God, did I forget to turn my headlights off? Is my battery gonna die? Because I've forgotten to turn my headlights off in the past, and my back car's been dead, and I've been like stuck at school or something.
But if they were on auto, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, okay.
Poke, poke, poke,
That's
poke.
exactly what Sydney told me.
Uh, all right. Do you want to do an FMK there, bud?
Sure. So, Big Garrett, I want to go FMK topic for you here. So we're gonna go Diet Mountain Dew, White Monster, Core Power protein.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I'd probably have to marry Diet Dew just off the bat. I can't live without her. I literally drink like 4 to 6 a day.
Jesus, dude. Cans or bottle? Well, I mean, it's still a
Cans.
lot either way, but unless there's
And
It's
really like
why diet?
I don't
a
like the
lot of
full sugar
sugar.
version. It feels better mostly on like the I'm not drinking 56 grams of sugar. So
Yeah, you would
I figured that
literally
was the
be
answer, but
400 pounds. If you had two Mountain Dews a day, you'd literally gain like 5 pounds a week probably until you hit like 400.
yeah,
Like, that's so much sugar. And Diet Mountain Dew
yeah,
tastes fucking amazing.
it does. I love it. That's why I drink 4 to 6 every single day almost.
I drink like three a month, but yes, I can agree. All right, so FMK, Diet Mountain Dew, you're gonna marry. What about White
Yep.
Monster and the protein drink?
Oh, I'd probably have to kill the white monster and marry the core power because the core power is the one like high protein drink I can drink. I absolutely despise whey protein. I don't know what it is about it. I
No
cannot
way.
swallow it without gagging.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I hate it. And like core power is the one thing I can drink. 42 grams protein, I can drink it. So like I love that stuff. And it tastes like amazing too somehow.
But you don't drink 6 or 7 of those a day.
I kind of wish I did, but no, I don't.
So much protein. I think
Oh
like
my god,
two of
I'd
those would
also be
be
broke if I drank 5 or 6 of those
yeah.
a day.
Yeah, then I mean, like I think even when you get shit from Costco, it's still like $3 a bottle. Like if you have like the
Yeah, it's like
pre-made in it.
48 bucks for a 12 pack, I think.
That's but the convenience of not having to like take a shaker bottle and like make protein on the fly. It's yeah, I don't think I'll ever
Yeah,
buy like protein in a bag again. It's always just the ready to drink ones for me.
yeah. And I gotta kill White Monster because, like, as much as I love a White Monster, I love Diet Dew more. And, like, if I could only drink White Monster, I'd probably drink 2 or 3 a day, and that's way more caffeine
Mm.
and energy drink and other stimulants inside of it, and probably not quite as healthy for you.
What do you do for pre-workout then? Do you do pre-workout or do you use the Monster and Diet Mountain Dew as your pre?
No, I used to take caffeine pills. Like, I
Jesus,
used
you're
to
doing
be.
caffeine on top of you just wow. So you drink you drink three Mountain Dews between like 2 and 4 p.m. and you go to work out at 5 and you're not caffeinated enough, dude?
No, I
Damn.
usually drink out in the morning. So, like, my work schedule, I work 3 to 11 p.m. So I
Ugh,
work out right when I wake
that's
up.
the
So
worst
I
shift.
pop, like, it is, but I
I
hate
did that
waking up
like when I was
early. So,
when I was your age, I was probably working that shift, honestly. So yeah, that's unpleasant.
yeah. But I work out in the morning, so I pop a couple 100 milligram caffeine pills. So I only have 200 to work out. And then, 4 Diet Dews is only like 216 milligrams of caffeine. So it's slightly over the RDA of 400 milligrams. And like, I am a hypo responder to caffeine. I can take 200 or 300 milligrams at once and I will feel nothing. And I'll have to take at least 400 milligrams, or I'll have to chug a white monster to feel anything from caffeine.
Mhm.
That sounds
And
extensive.
even when, like, I used to never drink any kind of pop or caffeine, when I first started drinking it a few years ago, like, just never have felt anything from it.
No, I get that. I'm the same way. I can do a 200 milligram ghost and have a nap.
Yep, pretty much.
I don't even take caffeinated pre-workout anymore for that reason because I would be literally like in the middle of a workout yawning
Hmm.
Hmm.
because it's like regulating me in a different way. So I get that.
Yeah. And, like, I'm slightly addicted to Diet Dew, too. Like, if I go a day without it, I'm just, like, craving it when I go to sleep at night.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. So I'm gonna hit you with Mount Rushmore because we are coming up on the hour and a half mark here. Mount Rushmore, 80s hair bands.
Ooh.
Hair metal, I hear, is your go-to.
Yes, hair. I love the hair metal, the glam rock, and like the crazy bands. Number one is Motley Crue easily. They were like the first harder kind of metal band I listened to, and that was the gateway to now I'm like into Slayer, Megadeth, etc. So definitely Motley Crue is George Washington. Number two would probably be Poison because a lot of their songs are awesome, and I've seen them in person, and they're even awesomer in person. Number three, uh, I'd say number three is probably Kiss, just because they have a lot of songs and they're all like really good to me. Like you get Kiss gets a lot of crap about having basic songs and like the only reason they're popular is because of their outfits, but it's like Rock and Roll All Night is like one of the most popular songs of all time. Like it can't be that bad. um yeah, Kiss is three. Number four, I don't know if Van Halen really counts as it, but I'm gonna shoe it in because Van Halen was like the first 70s, 80s band my dad introduced me to,
Mhm.
and it's like his favorite band of all time. And my favorite song, Jump, which I can play on piano and synthesizer, which is really fun to play. Side note, I don't mean to like make this super long podcast, but
Do it.
in high school we had a synthesizer and you could like get the same sound as Jump from the actual song, and every time I played that, it was like the best feeling in the world. I absolutely loved playing that.
Is that the like over the shoulder thing they did in Nerds, like the guitar
No,
piano, or is that
that's a keytar.
they're right? Then what the fuck's a synthesizer?
It's just like it's like a electric keyboard, but you can play different sounds on it
Okay,
besides just the plain piano.
gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
top four hair metal bands: Motley Crue, Van Halen, Kiss, and Poison.
All right. I dig it.
Good
And
answers.
I would actually give you Van Halen as a hair metal band because
Oh yeah.
come on, like Jump is a hair metal song.
Pan.
Oh yeah, like
And Panama, yeah.
if you can headbang with long hair to it, it's a hair metal song.
Well, before we move into unpaid, did you the one last thing that was kind of sticking out to me was if you wanted to touch base on your medical history and your surgeries. If you don't, 100% move on. If you do, I think people might be able to, get some insight from that.
Yeah, so I was born with cleft lip and palate, and if anyone doesn't know, it's basically I was born with my lip incomplete, so there was just a gash there of like it was basically like this, but there was a gash there of just like nothing. And same thing with the top of my mouth. So through that whole process, I've had 17 surgeries. Six of those were like minor ear tube surgeries, so they don't really count, but 17 sounds cooler than 11.
I think if I had something in my ear that was it's all a tube, I'd call that a surgery.
Yeah. Um, and apparently I almost died on my second one. I
Sis,
had like 102 or 3 fever, and that was when they redid my palate and sewed it together.
be like a baby
So
or
yeah.
like a like I don't
Yeah,
know
I
when
was
when do you
like
start when you were like
maybe
ethically allowed to like give someone surgery like at any point, I guess.
my first surgery was at 11 weeks old, and that was
Okay.
when they stitched my lip back together.
And is that basically because you have the best chance getting it as like being a newborn? It gives you your body the most time to adapt, kind of, and like
Yeah,
recover.
and so like I can learn to eat properly with my lips and
Hmm.
that stuff. And then yeah, the one I almost died on was my palate reconstruction. And apparently I had like 102 or 3 fever and my heart rate was in the 40s or 30s. It was super low. So yeah, I was pretty close to death. Um and then yeah, I've had like 9 other surgeries besides that. The worst one by far was the jaw surgery where they cut the top of my jaw off and moved it forward because I had like a massive underbite throughout my entire life, and now it's like at least flat. So
Did you
yeah,
have
and that
did you have like your the because I was listening to somebody talk about having to have this surgery, that there's a surgery you can get for sleep apnea where they essentially like shorten your lower jaw or some shit, and but the recovery, like you're in a wire, like your mouth is wired shut for months or at least several weeks, so you'd experience that.
yeah, so I did not experience that, thank God. My
That's good.
surgeon was awesome, and I just like I still had to drink. I only could drink things for 2 weeks. So that sucked a
Yeah,
lot.
2 weeks isn't as
And
bad as
I
like a
still
couple
can
months.
this to this day I cannot smell like a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup because what I would
That's all you
do
ate.
to sustain myself, I would blend it up and drink it. And yeah, I just can't do that anymore without getting flashbacks and just being sick. So
But at least you could still have your Mountain Dew.
I did not like Diet Dew at that time. So no, I didn't drink it.
That's sad. Going back
Yeah.
now, going back now, you definitely would have had your Diet Dew.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that medical advancements are in a place that you can, live a life without having, prolonged issues, and
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome. It's a
The only
crazy world we
Yeah,
live
I
in.
have 3 fake teeth in for dental implants because I was born without 3 or 4 of them. And apparently, I was born with a tooth or some kind of bone formation in my nose, and it just fell out one day.
Holy shit. I mean,
Yeah,
well, as long as the adult nose tooth didn't come in, you were in good shape, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. So,
Baby
anything
nose
else?
did fell out.
I think we're good to move into unpaid and underrated. Unpaid or underrated if anybody's got else, if no one else has anything else. So Big Garrett, if anyone listening for the first time, relatively new segment we have here, considered, it's called unpaid or underrated, similar to, amateur podcasts that just go overrated or underrated. We're the improved version of unpaid or underrated. So Big Garrett, we're gonna hit you with 3 topics each, give or take, and you're gonna use your druthers and tell us what you think. So number one here, unpaid or underrated, photobombing me in every fucking picture I took in Crew Falls this year, I feel like.
Highly, highly underrated. I absolutely love photobombing people, and the fact that I could photobomb you, Keith, like made it so much better.
And we kept finding them. Like the more I kept posting stories, like as the week went on, just to like, log the trip. Like there'd be another one where you're just like center mass, just smiling at me. It was
Yep,
great.
every time I saw you with your camera, I'm like, oh, I gotta like just make some weird face or something.
Oh, you turd. That's good stuff. All right. Unpaid or underrated, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, unpaid, underrated.
Figure that'd be a
Well,
really good
Sunday
one.
night,
So,
yeah, Sunday night he was unpaid.
yeah. So backstory: he's a big Vikings fan, and Sam Darnold is was supposed to just be a bridge gap quarterback that to basically be the backup until JJ McCarthy took over,
Mm-hmm.
and then JJ McCarthy blew out his knee or his ankle, whatever it was. He was out for the whole year, and Sam Darnold
Mm-hmm.
put up a Pro Bowl season, but he's on a 1 year contract, and now they don't know what to do. And he's leading them to the second or third best record in the NFL, and potentially a deep playoff run. So, what do you think?
Yeah, well, besides Sunday night when he absolutely sucked against the Lions and he was unpaid, I'd say overall he was underrated. Like, he came from being a Jets, like, bomb, that they thought, oh, he's gonna change our whole franchise and give us Super Bowls.
He's
And
number
then he bounced
the second or
around
third
and,
overrated, or second or
yeah,
third drafted quarterback, I believe.
yeah. So he went from, like, that to now he's, like, somehow amazingly good, but it
Yeah,
helps when you have the best wide receiver in the league on your team and Justin
it
Jefferson.
does. It has to help a little bit, right? All right. So
Mm-hmm.
I was curious what you're gonna go with that. Some people, as a Vikings fan, I'd be like, I was very curious. Okay. My last one here: unpaid or underrated, sparkling waters of any variety and all varieties.
Unpaid. Very
Really?
unpaid. I just
What
do
a
not like the aftertaste of them.
what have you had though? Because if you haven't had, have you had a Waterloo?
No, I haven't
Like,
had
shut the
like a
like,
LaCroix or Waterloo, so I
LaCroix.
probably can't
LaCroix
properly
sucks. So
judge.
like, get you a case of Waterloo. Waterloos are so much
Yeah,
better than LaCroix, and
the
bubblies
only
are pretty good.
sparkling,
Yeah,
yeah,
what
the
have you
only
had?
sparkling water I've actually had is like the generic stuff from Hy-Vee and Walmart,
Okay, well
Mm,
and
that's
that's
why.
probably why I don't like it.
yeah, buy
But
a
I
good
did
one.
try Element. They have their like can and it's sparkling water.
I
Oh
did
my
see that.
god, that is hard to swallow. Like it's salty and it
Mm.
has the very bad aftertaste of sparkling water.
Yeah, you're literally drinking the worst sparkling. So, someone in South Dakota fucking drive a real sparkling water to this kid's quote unquote town and make him drink a real sparkling water. Also, you said you lived in a town of 300. So when you went to high school, did you have to like bus like 4 hours to like a real like area that had schools, or did you have like a 12-person school?
Oh
When
no, I graduated with 18, so yeah.
that's
I
pretty.
think our whole school maybe had 200 people in it.
Did the school's athletic center have a Smith machine?
No, it did
Like
not.
I hear those are
Our
really
school's
popular
athletic center
in the small towns
barely
out
had
there.
a gym, so
I played on a Smith machine, I think, for the first time in my whole life when I went to Bells of Steel this week.
Oh yeah, how did you? And I loved your skit that you did there too. I'm sure was it like more? Were you just like, can I record something? And they were like, sure. This
No,
is
that's
great.
exactly what it was. And they were like, "Do I have to be in it?" And I'm like, "No, I just need to be in the lobby for it." But no, yeah,
Nice.
Smith machines. I can see the value. Honestly, I was just doing some hack squats in them, and I was like, "Yeah, actually, I could get this." Like, if I was really trying to murder my quads and really focus on particular muscles instead of doing compound lifts, yeah, I was actually kind of yeah, I could see a Smith machine. Would I buy one? Nah, but
I
like
used
saw it. I saw the value for a minute.
I think the thing I used it the most for when I did go to like a but like a bozo gym, if you will, was a standing on the one of the aerobic platforms and doing standing calf raises, like weighted standing calf raises. Because it was easy to load up without because they didn't have like a machine that particular machine. But outside of that, I don't remember really doing anything in it. Maybe
well, everyone knows the proper way to use a Smith machine is to do seated shoulder press and put the safeties so you only have to lock out, and then you can put like 6 plates on the side.
Well, I'll be sure to do that when I'm in Aberdeen next year. I'll be sure to make sure we load up that much weight and just leave the Smith machine fully loaded and
Everybody
just
in
dip out.
Aberdeen only playing on the Smith machine, like that would be really fun. Like everybody avoids every other implement and they all just run to that. Look, it holds plates. It's got storage. Do you want to do another one or am I moving in?
I'm good. I was three.
All right, unpaid and underrated haircuts.
It used to be highly unpaid for me because when I was little, I would like scream bloody murder and like hide whenever I had to get a haircut, apparently. And it was so bad that when I was done, the hairdresser had to go outside and smoke a few cigarettes to
A
let off some
few.
steam. But yeah, now they are underrated because I absolutely hate my hair being long. Like right now, it's about mid forehead and it's bothering me.
Just got to get the shaver, man. Get that electric shaver like the one I got. Just bald it
Yeah.
off. You'll feel much better. Not that I would know what it's like to have hair down to my forehead anymore. Um, unpaid or underrated social media influencers.
mm. Overall, they are unpaid, but the ones I hate the most are the fitfluencers who spread absolute crap information. Like the one that's been going around lately is the hammer strength chest press machine sucks because it doesn't have an ideal strength curve. And it's like, it's a hammer strength machine. It's the best feeling machine you will ever use in your life. It does not matter if it doesn't load at the stretch as much. Like, oh my god, people.
Yeah, I find myself if I'm on social media too much, doom scrolling through Reels or TikTok, just getting fucking mad. Pardon my language there. Just getting mad at these like who who makes these videos? And it'll be somebody like and they'll be like deadlifting 2 plates, talking about their struggle and their journey, and I'm just like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, who told you? Who recorded this and hit send? Who was like,
Hmm.
I'm really going to inspire people with my 1 plate squat. Yes,
Yeah,
they're really
exactly.
going to believe in my struggle and listen to my motivational speech. And it's not that like, hey, great, good, go deadlift, go squat, but like, especially when they put like a negative tint on it, and they're just like, if you're not doing what I'm doing, you suck. And I'm just like, buddy, I can deadlift your total. Like, fucking calm down with your telling other people what to do. Yeah, I have a very, very strong distaste for social media influencers who do that kind of thing. Rage baiting is one thing. Clearly, I can do that very well, as we acknowledged in the home gym Facebook today. But like, I think that there's just this opposite where it's like you got a camera and can kind of lift a little bit, go out there and put other people down. And I hate that. It makes me so mad.
Yep, bothers
Uh,
the heck out of me.
yeah, same. I might do two.
How about it?
Unpaid or underrated toe socks.
Oh my god, I'm highly embarrassed by this phase of my life. I'm not gonna lie.
I love my toe
So
socks.
Phase
Relax.
of your life. You've had like one phase of your life. You're 24.
Yeah, you're 24.
What phase of your life? Fucking, you're in like phase one, son.
okay, but like relative to my life, it was a phase.
I
So
feel you.
um, yeah, they're unpaid. I do not like them anymore. So how I got into them, I was listening to like Mark Bell's Power podcast after he reinvented it, and they had some barefoot specialist on, and like totally sold me on the barefoot shoe game, which I am glad about. However, then they also talked about toe socks and how normal socks are ruining your feet. And I like totally bought into that. I bought all these pairs of toe socks, and I'm like, gosh, these look weird to wear. And I'm like, I'm never taking my
Look, they
shoes
gotta
off in
fucking feel
public
weird.
again. Yeah, they do feel weird. Like I
Not all
I
toes are
threw
built
them
the
all
same. I
away.
can't see how a toe sock would work unless it was like tailored.
No, and I have insanely long toes too. So like they
Mm.
were always cramping my
That wasn't in the
toes
show
up.
nould have been a good. That would have been good to
Ah, I
know.
know.
That would have been one of those good
Scamps would have
embarrassing
loved
facts.
that.
Yeah.
Aaron too. No, I love my barefoot shoes, toe socks because of the grippy bottoms. Because I prefer to not wear shoes when I lift, but having like socks that are my feet that have the rubber bottoms, they actually kind of really help me out on squats. So like I can see kind of what you're saying because I wouldn't wear just like regular everyday toe socks. I'm not a weirdo, but those ones in particular, they really actually those ones really help me stabilize during raw lifting a little bit. So big shout out to barefoot shoes. Um,
Not
last
a
one.
sponsor of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast.
No, as not heard by you. Um,
Facts.
last one, and this one came up a few times, but I'm going to give you a twist on it. Unpaid or underrated, the Cavroline.
Underrated. I have a strong man crush on him for some reason. I don't understand why. But yeah, Henry Cavill, highly underrated. And then yeah, we were watching Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, who
Oh
is
yeah, he
this
had a good scene
jacked
in that.
guy? Yeah, and then he turns around. I'm like, oh my god, it is Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he was
And
supposed to
yeah,
be he was supposed to be Wolverine at some point. It was rumored, and they wanted to lock that in at least for one scene. And yeah, great scene. I think he would have made a great Wolverine, except that he's 4 feet too tall.
yeah, that's true. It was hilarious in that movie when they showed the CGI Hugh Jackman at
Yeah,
like
the little
4 foot
tiny one
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
was
like
because
three
so
foot
that's
11.
that's the Canadian Wolverine, right? That's
yeah,
actually
exactly.
a,
That's
a
like
That's the
pretty
that
proper
is.
one.
that's a pretty standard. So that would be the Alpha Flight Wolverine when he was that short. I could go off on Wolverine lore for fucking
Mhm.
hours if somebody prompted me, and we won't. But yeah, seeing Henry Cavill show up as Wolverine, I was just like, yes.
Did I have The Witcher there and you erased it for that? Or did
Yeah,
I? Okay, no, that's fine. I
because
just was
yeah,
like, no, the 100% fine. I just like I always kept looking. I was like, didn't I have The Witcher? But
yeah.
that's funnier. That's I get it. I
I
just
do gotta say, his physique in The Witcher is unmatched from any other movie he's done.
R.I.P. him
Even
and The
more so than
Witcher. Very
Superman.
sad.
Oh yeah, have you seen The Witcher?
Yeah.
Yes. Have you not seen that scene in Superman where he lifts that burning thing out
I
of the oil
have,
rig?
but I think it's because he's like more shaved in The Witcher. You can see his torso a little bit better.
Ah,
Yeah.
hairy dudes are making a comeback. I hear. I hope. I hope for my wife's sake.
Oh,
My wife. All right, I think you passed unpaid and underrated. Good work.
yeah, well done. You got you flip the script on us. You got anything for us, big dog? Oh, that's the
I
twice I've done
do.
that. I don't know why I
That's
keep
twice. You got to stop
telling
that.
you, Big Garrett. It's because I think I read it like 3 times today, or maybe it was from what you were talking about. It's just I don't know.
No, I got Big Dog a lot, so I respond to it. So,
Sorry, bud.
but yeah, I got one, or I got a few for each of you. So, Key,
Yeah, buddy.
Mount Rushmore of gym equipment companies that are not Rogue, Rep, Bells of Steel, or Titan.
Mm.
So Mount Rushmore. So let's go Black Widow training gear. Dean makes a lot of custom stuff. Good dude. Uh, Gym equipment is kind of broad, so I know you're kind of taking. So let's see. Fringe sport. Like if I had to build a gym and I couldn't use those companies, yeah, I'd probably have to go Fringe sport, Black Widow. Trying to think who all I've met at Home Gym Con that like I would want to support. Um, I mean, I obviously like barbell rescue and belt fed strength, but like there,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't like that's not equipment. It's equipment adjacent. You know what I mean? So like, if
Mm-hmm.
I had to build a gym, like what's a barbell? Who would I?
The strength go.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck, I'm trying to think. Trying to think of like how would I build a gym? That's a tough one. Because I need barbells, man. I don't want to go.
Texas
Uh,
power bars.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, Texas Power Bars would at least outfit me with bars. It's a good call. Fringe would get me my rack. Dean would get me
Kabuki.
Dean. Yeah, I would take Kabuki if they weren't dead. Basically, Kabuki's essentially dead. So I get yeah. So we'll go Strength Co. and yeah. So Black Widow, Strength Co. Fringe, and what the fuck was the fourth one I had just said? I already said it. I can't remember now, but it's in there somewhere.
Texas.
Texas, yeah, because I need bars. So yeah, that's if I had to build a gym without those four off the cuff. I'm sure if you asked me this tomorrow and I could spend a half hour to research it, I'd have a better answer. But off the cuff, that's what I would go with.
Do you see? I let him sit with that for a second. Like we just said it, and then he forgot it, and I was just like,
Uh-huh.
"No, I'm gonna let that silence go for
It'll come
just the
to me.
1 second."
Well, that's basically build a home gym. Basically, you asked me to build a home gym. You
Yeah, that was
take
essentially what I was
away
getting at.
75% of what like I would recommend to people.
Hmm.
So then that's hard.
Yeah.
Good question.
And I got one for you, Joey.
Hmm.
With your recent introduction into Strongman, if you had to make your own show with 4 events, but you cannot use a barbell, axle, or regular, you cannot use a circus dumbbell, you cannot use a log, and you cannot use a yoke, what 4 events would you choose?
Car deadlift, truck pull. Um, honestly, natural stone lifting. I would just throw out a bunch of natural stones and go like, this one weighs this much, this one weighs this much. Go fucking lift that as high as you can. Over the head, more points, but even to the stand up with it. So that was 3. Can't use a log. Can't use a yoke. Fuck, I wish I could put caber toss in there. Caber toss would go great in a strongman competition. Mm, I don't watch enough strongman. That's my problem. Like, I just want to do different lifts. So, can't use an axle bar. Can't use a barbell of any sort. Can I use a mammoth bar?
That's a barb.
No, that counts.
Damn it. Um,
What was the actual
Oh
instrument?
no, what's that? What's that one deadlift that actually yeah, that's what I would do. What's that one deadlift where you just grab it by the handles and you lift straight fucking weight?
Car deadlift?
No, no. I could find the name if I had a second to
Denny
search it.
Stones? I don't.
I would love the Dinny Stones, but I think that that's kind of like that has a cap that I think that is a lot harder than people think it is. No. Are they Romanian deadlifts? So literally, you stand on two, and I'm gonna get shit for this in the crew for sure. You stand on two platforms. You literally are lifting a T-bar attached to a I want to say a carp. You're here. Help me out.
Oh yeah. Like the duck walk loading pin thing.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, that thing. And you
yeah
just like
the
you just got to stand up with that. Because
yeah.
actually, there's a competition here in August that I might go and play around
What
with
is the
some of
name of
that.
it? It is yeah. It's a yeah.
It's a some sort of deadlift.
I know like it's what you use to do loading for the duck walks or when you do like the power
It,
stairs. It's the
yeah, it's
implement
the
you use
duck
for
walk
power.
power stairs, but
Yeah.
this one you just load it as much as you can, and you just got
Yep.
to
And you just
stand up with
stand up
it.
with it. Yep. That's it. That's not bad. Good list.
Somebody correct me on that. I wish I could remember the name. I was like signing. I was
I
like
think
about to sign.
a lot of companies are going to call it something different too. So it's
I was legit about to
I
sign up for a competition for it, so I should probably learn the name.
I was actually I was looking at those on Rogue the other day. I think before I maybe or maybe didn't order myself something.
I guess I could have included farmer's walk or frame carry.
Those are
Like
popular.
I definitely could have put those in there, but I keep wanting to do the farmer's walk, but like in my basement, which is 25 feet long and no turnaround room, it's not easy to train. I'd have to train it outside. And
Well, you
that,
got to drop them and then do the 180 and go back. I'm still debating on bringing mine downstairs. It's just a matter of like waiting for it not to be icy so I don't die trying to get it
yep.
from the garage to the basement.
Yeah. Having,
Yeah.
having seen the frame carry at the Arnold a few times and watching how hard that is,
I
I would probably put that in, but like,
That shit's uphill too. That's
yeah,
wicked.
yeah.
I did a like legit so like not just a trap bar, but like a legit frame carry at the East Ave Barbell at the commercial the strongman gym I go to with Chris. I think I only did like 430 and it was heavy. Like the
Mhm.
next jump was gonna be another 90 pounds. And I was just like, I'm good. I'm just gonna do 3 sets of this. Because this was like at the end of the session and it was like full turf, like turf sprints. And like my ankle cramped up like the first run, and I'm like, I'm not going up in weight. Like I could do more if I had to, but I don't have frame carry for any event in any of like the two or three strongman shows I'm dabbling. I'm eyeing in 2025. So it's like I don't need to push this.
I kind of got a question for both of you as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so with Joey's new podcast equipment, are you going to start posting the video footage on YouTube soon?
We've talked about it. It's just too hard to isolate. Like it's honestly just it's would we like to? Absolutely. Would we be putting a lot more work onto the supposed Nate who may or may not exist?
Forgot about
Um
that.
yeah, I think it's just a lot of work putting it on the technical guy to not only do the podcast but then balance between the audio and the video. Um no, I just happen to like need a new light because I was just using my bedroom light, and then you can see my disgustingly messy bedroom in all of the podcasts. So no, this setup was honestly just to preserve the sanctity of my bedroom.
I a lot of our friends that podcast use StreamYard and it like does all that and it'll push it to YouTube as the video. And I think you can even I believe if I'm not if I'm pretty sure Jake from Garage Gym Experiment even told us that like once you edit it, it'll edit it in both locations for you. Like if you need to like take like 30 seconds out, it'll just do both simultaneously. But like I don't know what you're paying for StreamYard. It's got to be a lot more than we're paying for, premium on Zoom. And it's just something we haven't really I don't know, like who's are 7 people going to watch the YouTube video? Like
Yeah, I think we have like 65 subs or something stupid like that. So it's like,
yeah,
Uh,
it's
but I mean, would we increase it with that? And but again, they all this is business acumen, I guess. You have to look at like we have a cap, right? We have roughly 200 listeners a week. How many of those would move to YouTube? Would we gain more? Unlikely because we have a cap of crew. Like we don't get there's very few people outside of crew that are interested in this at all, which is by design, of course. Like this is the crew podcast. This isn't would it be cool if somebody else joined in and thought we were funny? Great. Is it likely to happen? No. So like I think that the limit of how much we're willing to invest in getting the outside people, only to realize that they're not interested in what we do, that's kind of a balance we have to play.
Yeah, and we're in a rhythm now. Like we can do this. Like everyone is just on autopilot, and we can do it exactly what we need to do and produce a very high quality episode every 7 days, in my opinion, without hiccups. I don't want to throw a wrench in that. Like
Mm.
because there's it like Tanner and Tommy pivoted because they can make potentially eventually thousands of dollars on YouTube with ad revenue, 100 whatever. Like that is their goal is to get more followers, make more money from ad revenue, etc. That's not us. So we don't need to pivot.
Yet.
But it would be, and also like I don't want to like essentially have to like doll up for a fucking video every day. And by that I mean more the places that I know that would be easier to do the video are like StreamYard and a couple other ones. They don't allow you, to my knowledge, to do backgrounds. Whereas like I'm in a spare bedroom and I don't need like my fucking coat rack to be like in my video the whole time, and I'm not gonna like create a studio to be recorded in. Whereas it just right now, if you look at it, it looks like I'm in my gym, but I'm not in my gym. Not anymore. I did record the first like 30 episodes in my basement, but my wife said it was too loud downstairs because my voice carried through the whole house, and the spare bedroom has like
That's because you
insulated
weren't using your
walls.
microphone.
Yeah, I had to talk a lot louder, I guess. Yeah, speak up. Yell into the abyss louder. Good question though.
Yep.
We have but like the same like two people have asked, I feel. And I'm kind of the other way. Like I loathe when podcasts are only on YouTube because that's not a podcast. You're just producing video content and you want me to consume it, but it's not a podcast, so stop calling it that. It apply. People need to be able to listen to it while they're driving and walking without having to like pay for YouTube Premium. So
I'm surprised more people don't ask those insider questions. That's one of those reasons I think that I really look forward to that segment is I think at some point somebody's going to start asking, well, what do you know about, right? And putting stuff out there that like we might have to answer some hard questions about some stuff that we've been sitting on a little bit and nobody really has. So that was a really good kind of insider
yep.
learn about unpaid and underrated question.
Well, put it this way: we put it on YouTube because people were asking for it because they wanted to stream it in their gyms. Like, are they upset because it's only a thumbnail? Because we're only getting like 10 views a week on YouTube. So like if those were getting 30, 50, 60 views and people were actually consuming it on YouTube,
You say
maybe that would
consume
motivate us.
so
I
much.
know. Well, I do it to fuck with everybody now too. Like if no one ever said it, take in like I don't know, like the
Absorb.
numbers, yeah, the numbers don't make sense for us to put any effort into YouTube other than like, hey, you want to watch it on YouTube? If you want to listen to it on YouTube and support us, there you have a choice too. But I don't need 2 hours of me and Joey's face out there to make meme opportunities for people to fuck with us either.
I have some ideas for some long form and maybe short form content for YouTube, especially with the Arnold coming. Um, Maybe for us to do a couple videos that are YouTube only.
It would be fun, but
Yeah, and that's kind of an idea I have, but I mean, like, I don't have a storyboard or anything going. I just had this idea of, well, at the Arnold, why don't we do meh, right? Like last year, me and Nate did an under the table,
it
um,
was really funny.
quick little interview between me, him, and I think one other person. But I think it would be really funny if we just did like a bunch of those and just put it on YouTube. That's an idea that I had in my head where like the crew would watch that. The crew would watch to see themselves, to see their friends, to see their maybe we get a couple famous people like joining us or something silly like that. And I would do that on YouTube before I would do what we're doing right now on YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe once we get like a million crew members, then it'll be worth putting on YouTube.
It's
Yeah.
so it's realistic that if nothing hampers like everything that this all kind of rides on is those two sisters. There could be 1,000 crew in like 3 years. Like if the
Yeah.
numbers like strategically keep going up, like if the pyramid scheme keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, Tanner's pie is going to get a whole lot bigger. Um,
His
I
knee's
I
gonna
mean
feel really good then.
I mean I really like. I was always worried. I know I'm always accused of gatekeeping because like oh I don't want the crew to get that big, 'cause then it's just we're all going to get lost in the shuffle. But like I still recognize everyone's. I mean I don't know. You're either so many people don't post, so it's almost like moot that we're getting bigger if they don't ever post. So it's like it's still the
Hmm.
same like 100 people that post 1 to 30 times a day. Uh,
All right. Is that all you had for us?
I got a one couple more. That's all right.
Yeah, we got a
uh,
few minutes.
All
Let's go
right.
one. Let's go one or two more.
yeah, let's go 10 minutes or
Okay.
less.
Keith,
Yeah, buddy.
I need to hear the chicken parm story.
Oh,
Unless you've
Jesus Christ.
elaborated
Which
it
one?
on a
I've so many
former
times. I
podcast,
have 1,000
I need
times.
to know the origin of it because it's
It's
bothering
chicken parm
me.
in general or chicken parm in Aberdeen?
Like, why
Because
does everyone give you crap
oh,
about
okay,
chicken
you
parm?
really don't listen to any podcast, do you? You're such a baby. So
I'm working on the backlog.
I've been powerlifting for 7, 8 years now, whatever it is, since like 2016 or 17. I think I did my first meet, and I just remember being like in high school before football games, like a pasta meal was like provided essentially. So like got a carb load, that was just in my head, and I was like, what is a what's a pasta dish that I like? And I was like, well, I like chicken and cheese and bread, and so I just started getting chicken parms before any powerlifting meet. And anyone that knows me well enough, it's like I might not be OCD, but I have OCD tendencies. So creature of habit, repetition, not changing things is all my happy place. So, historically for the last, coming up on a decade, anytime I'm doing a lifting competition, some form of chicken parm is devoured prior to lifting. Not
Consumed.
consumed, devoured. Switching it up, curling a curveball. So then that's just a thing I've always done in Rochester, where I'm from. So cut to 2023 Aberdeen. My wife and my Stephanie came out with me, and so we were a little bit more had freedom to like go out on our own and kind of get some meals together, and then kind of go do the crew stuff. It wasn't like true crew 24/7. So we went to the Italian place there and had a great meal. It was awesome. She had a pizza. I got the chicken parm, and everything tasted amazing. I think it was partially because I was starving, partially because I ate like 2 or 3 slices of pizza with the chicken parm, and I just like nothing felt off, nothing tasted off. And then I raved about it for 12 fucking months like an asshole. Well, at the time I didn't think I was an asshole. I raved for it for 12 months because I was like, it really was like it was a nice fancy restaurant. It was like the bottom of like a bougie hotel for a bougie for Aberdeen. So I'm
You're
out
right
there
next to
with
the target.
I'm out there with yeah. No, this is the downtown part. So there was just so it was me, Chris, Jeff, and Big Spicy Pizza. Like we all went to this restaurant. And hadn't been there in a year. I was, well, actually throughout the whole year, Jen was the ringleader giving me shit for saying that I liked Aberdeen chicken parm just because, oh, Aberdeen can't have good chicken parm. And I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking get one up on all you motherfuckers because I'm gonna go there again. I'm gonna have it again, and it's gonna be amazing. You know, cut to the end, had it again. It's very mediocre that experience. So this year's experience was horrible. Like everyone else's food was like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10. Like I think Jeff was like said it'll do essentially or something to that extent. Like it wasn't the worst he ever had. Now they all had their own Italian meals. It didn't and no one else had chicken parm, but I was just and I just and this was leading into this like this was the Saturday. No, this was Friday afternoon before we went to Tanner's. And I was just like, I was embarrassed that like their quality of food had dramatically decreased in one year, and also now I'm going to get made fun of and ripped on because I talked this fucking place up to my friends for a year, and four of them experienced it, and we're all like, eh. And I was like, you're right. It fucking sucks this year, but it was really good last year. And Stephanie can attest. Like, the pizza was great. She had some of the chicken parm. She said it was great. So I don't know what happened in 12 months, but that place went from like good, authentic, tasting food to something the guy pulled out of a fucking microwave, it felt like. So, and then when we were in Crew Falls, everyone was like, the one of the last bar where fucking
The
there was
brewery.
the Peep and Tom there. Uh Everyone was Keith, you see there's a chicken parm sandwich on the menu. I feel like people told me that at least 12 people told me that after I had. Yes, I did get it and it was not good either. So I've learned that I'm gonna have to switch it up. So I guess with the breaking news, I more than likely will not eat a chicken parm before Live Hard Live Easy 3 because I don't know that there's going to be an edible one. So might have to get us some steak or something.
My chicken wings were fine, by the way.
Can't believe you guys fucking ate at BW3s 19 times. So gross.
It was.
I had I
It
had the
was the
best
worst. And the service was so bad.
I had the best meal ever today. It was so good. My wife and I went to we actually went to a pretty fancy Italian place to us because it was like we were definitely like the least dressed up people because we just came from work, just wearing like my work fucking clothes and what did I got the special. It was a New York strip steak, but it was in some kind of sauce. I posted it in the Discord. I can't remember what the fuck kind of sauce it. Give me a second. It was the a demi glaze, but it was not like glaze, but and it's just simply like a thin kind of gravy-ish sort of. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's not an A1 sauce or anything, but I didn't know it actually came with that. Like this guy just said 14-ounce New York strip with this, and this, and I was like, sold. And then it came out like literally saturated in this glaze, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Tasted like it was very mild, so it wasn't like it didn't add or take away too much. It was one of the best steaks I've ever had, which it should have been. It was like a $75 steak, and usually I don't buy steaks more than like $40 like ever, but like the whole meal was like $75, but it came with fries and a good full like it came with a full Caesar salad
Oh my
included in that. No,
God.
it was obnoxious. It was super obnoxious. But I was not gonna get that, and Stephanie was like, her and I both had just got our annual reviews, so we all both got a small pay bump. I'm about to go out of town. We were both sick at Christmas, so this was kind of just like a treat yourself date night. Fucking best steak I've ever had in my life. It was cooked perfect. Take the sauce or leave the sauce, I could care less, but the steak itself was great. It was amazing. And then we ended up getting two pizzas because she wanted a margarita and they had like a 4 cheese garlic pizza. And I was like, well, I really want that. Like if I'm gonna get like two meals, like I want a slice of that. And then so she was just like, well, fuck it. We'll just it was like an extra like $14. Just order two pizzas and we'll take them both like 3/4 to go. So that's what we did. Great meal, great times. And yeah, I still don't really know what a demi glaze is, but it's better than Aberdeen chicken parm. So does that answer? That was a 7-minute answer to
I
the
was gonna, he
chicken
said
parm.
he
Sorry.
said 10 minutes and then went for 7. Yep.
Oh, sorry about that, boss.
Yep, that answers my questions now, finally.
Is anything funnier or no? Is stuff funnier or less funny now?
Oh no, it's still gonna be funny to give you crap about chicken parm.
Yep.
Fuck everybody. Chicken parm jokes.
I think the other day when we were talking about quesadillas, I posted a chicken parm quesadilla.
Somebody did, yeah. It must have been you. Okay, that's correct.
Good work. Good
Well
work.
done.
Trolling Keith is easy and fun.
Hmm.
You could learn all
That is
about
true.
it.
I try not to get as worked up because I get worked up about everything else. So when it's just friends busting balls, for the most part, I try to absorb it without being a dick.
He tries to consume it.
I'm gonna try to go out of my way to like not sit like it won't
Oh,
happen.
you're gonna need a thesaurus, bud. All right, was that it then?
Yeah, that's all I got for you.
All right, let's bring us in for a landing. So,
Yep.
obviously, we got some friends that have affiliate links that benefit you. Sometimes they benefit us, but mostly they benefit you. So, Obsidian, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, and Apparel from the Strength Co. Use code unpaid there and help saves anywhere from a couple percent up to 10%, depending on where you go. And helps us get that speedboat for maybe Nate. I'm not sure if AI can drive yet or not. I mean, Tesla, so yeah, I guess there's smart driving cars. So Nate could take advantage of that speedboat. Nate in quotation marks. Um, Big Garrett, where are they going to find you at, boss?
You just find me on Instagram at Garrett.cscs77 or my training page, GC_strength_systems. And yeah, you can find me there or in the Discord, of course.
Yep, making fun of me.
Yep, and making memes. I am so
Nice.
glad I figured out how to make memes.
That's right. You were the one. Were you the one the other day that was like, I don't have the Keith head. I can't make this meme better. And then like
Yes, that
that
was
that
me.
that prompted Nate. Oh, shout out to AI Nate. I think he added. I think it's just on our website now somewhere that there's like a link to the Keith head that takes you to the shortcut, I believe, or maybe it takes you to a Dropbox of like a very high quality version, like high res version of it actually.
Well, there's also the Keith head shortcut
Yeah,
for
there's a
Apple,
shortcut.
and now
Yes.
we're working on a mobile phone background.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep, yep.
Like,
Um,
like, what are you doing, Nate AI? Like, what are
yeah,
you?
it's like there's like we have like a running list of, hey Nate, can you do this, this, and this for us for the podcast? And then he does that and the
Yeah,
other.
and he's like, yeah, I'm like, can you make this graphic? And he's like, yeah, I could probably swing that. Half an hour later, I have a Keith Head mobile phone background. Like, dude.
The funny part was though, like he picked like a pumpkiny red kind of orange and was like, I just need Keith to sign off on this orange. And I like finally got back to it because I don't carry my personal phone for a good chunk of the day. And I finally got back to it and I was like, I don't like that orange. Like, because like no wine cellar is like safety orange basically. Like if I have to like look up a paint color, I usually go with safety. So he found a an OSHA safety orange. I was like, that'll work. But it just made me chuckle all together. So good stuff. Big Joey, where are they gonna find you at?
Instagram, Joey_Malesko, MLECZKO. That's about it. Maybe in the really ever growing and ever fun home gym community that's hosted by Coop on Facebook. Look out for my look out for my very informative coaching tips there. Uh, Otherwise, that's about it.
I love it. So Instagram, Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, website, Unpaid Intern Podcast. We got the YouTube, and I'm Keith Honeycutt. You can follow me on Instagram at Keith Honeycutt73. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar, and we will see you next Tuesday.